Kings and queens, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. So recently I did an interview with Matthew Cote with my great friend Polyester as the co-host, and there was actually some pretty spicy things in there that I want to recap for you guys in case you missed it. If you did and you're curious of watching any of the parts, links will be down in the description. Sadly for part 2, the rapid fire section, I accidentally deleted the video. I know, I suck. But I did recap everything in the video for you guys, so it's still good to take a look at it. Anyways, I'm going to recap everything that was significant and you might get some good information out of that I found quite interesting and I want to share with you guys. Let's start off with it. We asked Matthew Cote if we will ever see Chucky in DBD because recently he stated, or in the past I should say, he stated that Chucky was a little bit too silly to come into DBD. We reiterated that and asked him the question again, and he kind of held his stance on it. He said that Chucky is a little bit too small and more on the comedic side of horror, although he's been on everyone's short list. So chances are we're probably never gonna see Chucky coming into the game, but he did mention that if they end up bringing Chucky into the game, how much more funny would it be with him always saying that it won't happen? Obviously, in the past, behavior said things won't happen, and they've happened. They've made promises, and some promises didn't come true, and they even made things that did come true. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but chances are the likelihood of Chucky coming into the game is very slim to none. I don't think they're trying to pursue that license. I don't think they want to get into all of it, and it already might be a crazy legal thing going on, so I don't think we'll see Chucky anytime in the future. Obviously, if they did get the license though, and they did work it out, they would find a way. We've seen Sadako not touching anybody and getting it to work. We've also seen Victor in the game, so it makes sense and it's technically feasible to do something like this, but I don't know if we're gonna have a doll running around trying to murder people coming into the game anytime soon. Next thing we talked about was basement changes. In the last year's interview, I asked Matthew if we're gonna see some basement changes, and he said yes. I re-asked that question because we obviously didn't see any basement changes, and he said that, yeah, this is still gonna happen. He doesn't lie to us. Basement changes are still on their way, and that's just something for us to speculate on now. I know there's been lots of discussions on if the basement should just be removed altogether, but it's good to know that they're reworking it, as it's such an iconic thing in Dead by Daylight, and actually does provide some good gameplay benefits. I know there's been people saying that, you know, the basement doesn't help at all and you don't need to use it, etc. But I mean, Trapper, say the best for last, 3 traps, it is a GG. Same with Leatherface or even Hunters or any of those killers. So it's good to see that they are going to keep the basement and rework it a little bit. And I'm very curious to see what they're going to do. My theory is that they're going to somehow make it to have another exit. But the thing is, if you do something like that, you would then have to rework every killer shack on every single map, and chances are the entire killer shack and not just the basement will be reworked. And if that is the case, we might even see the iconic one window and pallet being removed or changed. We already seen them messing around a little bit with this with Dead Dog and some of the other variations, adding a breakable wall in there and things like that. So you never know what they could do. I mean, if you remember old school DBD, there was 2 windows to go into the killer shack, which was absolutely crazy, and then the basement, so you never know what they could do. But we can expect some basement changes to come sometime in the future. I don't know when, but speculate all you guys want and how this is going to happen. I personally think we're going to get 2 exits on opposite sides, so that way the killer can't just guard away and you have a chance to run out, which shouldn't be too difficult to do. But that means that window definitely has to be placed somewhere else, probably in a straight line if I had to guess of where you're going to do it, and just remove the door altogether is what I presume they would do, or even remove the vault completely. Who knows? Another cool thing that Matthew Cote mentioned in his interview was Funko Pops. Now, he actually said he wasn't supposed to talk about this, and the question presented to him was, has he seen any Funko Pops in actual physical prototype form? He said that he wasn't supposed to answer this, but this question was dedicated to Polly's son, and he said that he loves Polly's son, so he's going to say yes. This is huge. It means that we actually got some solid news on DBD Funkos. We've been kind of up in the air with what's been happening with Funkos for a very, very long time. To be honest, we never even knew if DBD Funkos were going to happen, considering it took them like 5 years to finally get the deal done, which was on Funko's side, not DBD, before you get your pitchforks. And, It's good to know that this deal is still going down. Everything's still working. Obviously, with COVID happening, everything went down, you know, with health because of factories and everybody working there. It made no sense for something like that to happen. And then we have inflation and shortages, etc. So it's understandable why this took so long. But it's good to know that we have an update on what's going to happen because I'm looking forward to it. As someone that doesn't actually collect that much Funkos but recently gotten into it, I really want to see some. I know my friend Polyester absolutely raves for Funko Pops, so we'll see what happens and when we're going to get these Funkos. If you guys don't already know, Funkos are confirmed to come into DBD or from DBD, and we even have some prototype images that we can share with you guys on screen now. So that's going to be pretty cool, and I'm excited to see what they look like in physical form. Another cool thing that he mentioned was that we're probably never going to see any Cenobite new skins coming into the game. I think this has to do with the licensing agreements and obviously the weird fiasco that we had with Hellraiser and Dead by Daylight, so I don't think they really want to work with them too much anymore. And even so, it might be two different legal entities, so they won't be able to get the female Hellraiser coming into the game, sadly. Although, admittingly, that would be super duper cool. But sadly, we can expect no other Hellraiser cosmetics as well because we just generalized Hellraiser and he said no. So if you already got what you got, you're probably never going to get anything else, and that's fine. I mean, we got some cool things. We got the voice line, we got the Chatterer, and I'm okay with that. It's more than what we got for someone like Leatherface, or no, Leatherface actually got cosmetics. I take that back. It's more than what we got for someone like Freddy, so I'm happy that something like this has already happened and, you know, we can move past it. Another cool thing that Matthew Cote mentioned was new items in the game. We mentioned to him if we were going to see any new items, and he actually said he's shocked on why this already hasn't happened or what's the holdup behind everything or why, you know, we haven't seen any new items. And he said that the logical answer is just how game-breaking some things could be balancing-wise. We even joked that Otz or Peepsy would put out a video being like, this is how you can absolutely, you know, wreck with this. And we've seen something like that recently with Hyperfocus, sorry. I'm just mixing up everything today. But we've seen how quickly generators can go with Detective's Hunch and Hyperfocus. So it's pretty crazy what you can do. A logical one that we mentioned was giving survivors the option to break breakable walls with a hammer, one-time use. And that would be pretty cool. I think that would work out well. Obviously, again, you can't really see what 4 survivors with hammers are going to do until obviously you implement it into the game. But I think that is the real reason why they are hesitant in doing that. And maybe in the future, we will see some more items. I'm really looking forward to seeing some more items. Maybe one day we'll see that happening. Next is something about Dr. Loomis from the Halloween series. As you guys know, Dead by Daylight is only licensed to the old Halloween, meaning we only can get the old school Laurie or the young Laurie and the old school Myers. We can't get anything from Halloween Kills, none of the new DLC stuff, nothing that you're seeing in the movies today. We won't be able to get. Only from the old school stuff is what DBD has their hands on. But in there, Dr. Loomis does appear, and Polly did mention that we have seen legendary skins that allow you to change the gender of characters, so getting a legendary skin for Laurie could make sense to bring Dr. Loomis into the game. And that would be pretty cool. I'm excited for that if they do end up doing something like that. That would be a lot of fun, and Matthew said he didn't even really think about that, and he's gonna write that down. So I mean, you never know. You never really know. Another thing we talked about was, are we going to see some new cosmetics or even Moris coming in from NetEast, because they got some really cool shit there. And Matthew said that they've done it in the past, and, you know, NetEast has done a fantastic job over there. And there's definitely possibilities for something like that happening. You know, everything sounds good on paper, but they don't really know. But that is pretty optimistic. It wasn't like a no, so we could see potentially new Moris coming into the game. We could see new cosmetics from NetEast coming into the game, which I must say, if you haven't seen some of the NetEast stuff, I'll try to get it on screen for you now. They're absolutely fantastic. The skins they're putting into the game, the Moris they're putting into the game are absolutely amazing. And I'd love to see it coming into the core of DBD. Even if you put it on the Rift, you put it on the free track of the Rift, you put it on the paid track of the Rift, whatever it is, it's pretty damn cool. And I would love to see something like that coming into the game. And I'm really looking forward to that. The last two things that we talked about was, why did Maurice the Horse go? Will we ever get justice for Moris, and Matthew said he wasn't really spoken to when they removed Moris. He's not happy about it, and Polly jokingly said we could have a community event where we bring Moris back, and he said he's gonna write that down. So if we see justice for Moris and, you know, that becomes an event, thank you, Polly. You saved Moris. And the final thing that we mentioned was, could we potentially see more cosmetics or Bubba or Ash versus the Evil Dead? Because obviously these guys both have their games now. We have Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Ash versus the Evil Dead as video games now. So could we potentially still see that coming into DBD now that they have their own things? And the answer is yes. This didn't negatively affect Dead by Daylight in any way whatsoever. We still can pretty much get Bubba skins and Ash vs. the Evil Dead skins coming into DBD with no issues whatsoever. So that is really, really good to hear. And that, my friends, is pretty much all the information that we got. I mean, there's more stuff, and you gotta go watch both videos if you want to hear everything in there, because it's a lot of good stuff. But that is pretty much going to wrap it up for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. A big thank you to Matthew Cote again for doing our annual interview on my birthday. It is such an amazing birthday gift, and I'm happy that I could share it with all of you guys in the community. Next year, I told him we could do a mukbang and we can figure it out so we can actually be in person. Sadly, he was on vacation, essentially. It was his first day of vacation, and he was outside in the cold, so I felt really bad. So next year, we'll go into a warm office, maybe grab some lunch, and we'll have some fun with that. But thank you guys for watching this video. That's all the information that we pretty much picked up from Matthew Cote. Again, tons of more things and laughs and nitty-gritty stuff in the actual interview. You can take a look at both parts in the links in the description. If you did enjoy, leave a like down below, subscribe for some more Dead by Daylight content, follow us on Twitch, join our Discord, all that good stuff. As always, I'm the king. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog.
I'm living life like a king. Gold on my neck, boy, gold on my rings. Crown got the tilt, I ain't worried about a ting here. Flow so new, but I'm acting like I've been here. See, this what I've been doing since the drop. Fire on the arrow when I tell them all to knock. Once I get it going, ain't no way I'm